Hey y'all, in these very waters behind me lurks a creature that can measure over 10 feet long and weigh up to 3,000 pounds. This time, I'm not talking about the Florida gator, but the manatee. People from all over the world come to see them, even big celebrities like the Irwins, Jacques Cousteau, and Jane Goodall. So join me as we meet up with the manatee whisperer and get to visit her and her manatee family. Manatees are a protected species, so to stay on the right side of the law, we head to Crystal River, Florida to legally get up close and personal with these gentle giants. Hey Kayla.
Good morning. How
Nice to finally meet you. I'm doing great. It's such a beautiful day in Florida. I'm glad to be at Bird's Underwater Dive Shop. So what do you have in store for us today?
You already got your wetsuit on, so you are very prepared this morning. I love to see that. So before we head out, we'll watch a quick safety video by FWC called Manatee Manners. Teach you everything that you need to know, and that'll prepare you to swim with the manatees today.
Are you feeling good about our chances of seeing manatees?
I'm feeling pretty good. We usually have some pretty good odds when it's a little bit chilly outside.
Now, while I work on polishing up my manatee manners I'm hopefully about to put to use, we board a colorful pontoon rig to head to the captain's favorite honey hole. While en route, let's talk about these big fellas. Like their land-bound counterparts, these sea cows play an important role in ecosystems to manage and help sustain healthy aquatic vegetative communities that other animals like sea turtles, fish, and mollusks depend on. And despite their fluffy appearance, they actually have very little body fat, meaning that they can quickly starve or freeze to death without the warm springs and abundant supply of seagrass that this area provides them.
Because I started coming out here personally just on a paddleboard, and they would watch me and they're like, you're really good, like you're calm, you know everything, like can we just pay you to do what you're doing now for fun? I was like, pretty well. I was like, that could be cool. Because at the time I was driving like an hour. So I used to wake up at 3:30 in the morning to come here and be here for sunrise.
Wow.
I was committed.
What a dream come true. She now gets to spend her days personally involved with the care and conservation of the species that stole her heart. And how could you not love that sweet little face? I thought she was joking when she warned me that the manatees would be curious about my beard and want to give it a taste. I would have chewed some gum if I knew I was going to have a manatee makeout. These large herbivores were super curious and happy to come investigate on their own. Though it fills me with joy to be around all these healthy, happy manatees, it's bittersweet knowing that on the east coast of Florida, they're starving because their seagrass has disappeared for reasons that are not well understood. All right, so we just had one of the most exciting manatee dives that I've ever had in my life. That was incredible.
We certainly did. That was very exciting.
That cannot be a usual experience.
No, given the cold streak that we have now, we've had hundreds of manatees come into the spring for survival purposes because they cannot sustain their own body heat out in the Gulf at this time.
And I love that we did it right.
Yes.
And so you told us that if we just kind of floated, that they would come up and interact with us if they were curious, and we got way more interaction than I think we could have bargained for. I think we both got a handful of manatee kisses throughout the morning. But you said that Bird's Underwater Dive Shop is not only creating interest for people who want to interact with manatees, but you're also doing a lot of restoration work to make sure that they stick around, like the long game. So could you tell me a little more about that project?
Yeah, so the restoration project that we have in the Bay is with Save Crystal River and the Crystal River Restoration Project. They are planting salty dog eelgrass and rockstar eelgrass throughout the Bay, and it became quite a success because it has been shown to propagate throughout the Bay. And as it propagates all over this bay, it is clearing up the water significantly, bringing in other species of wildlife. So we have teeny tiny fish to great big 6-foot-long tarpon in the bay, which can be quite the show. And it's created obviously an endless feed supply for the manatees, which is really lovely.
And with all the success that you're having on this side of the coast, is there any thought to bring this project to the East Coast where they're struggling?
Fingers crossed that they do find a particular species of eelgrass that would be able to be planted over on the other coast, obviously to increase the amount of food for those manatees, as we are seeing some starving numbers, and possibly overall increase the benefits of that ecosystem, making it a little bit clearer water, making more species want to come and inhabit that area, and just make it a way more diverse ecosystem.
Do you think they recognize your voice? Like, yeah, I noticed you talk the whole time to them.
I do like to talk to them. People have called me, you know, the crazy manatee lady for trying to spark up a conversation with the manatees, but I really feel that that helps them understand who I am in the water and that I'm not going to cause them any danger. I've come in the water and talked to a couple of my regular manatees, and they'll come shoot right for my face and want to give me a little kiss and then check me out for a minute and then go on their day.
Do you agree with that saying, if you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work?
Oh, 100%. I have never begrudgingly woke up in the morning to come swim with manatees. Usually, 9 times out of 10, I am just as excited to get in the water as my guests.
So already today, I'm seeing the importance of what y'all do here and the work that you do, but what would the world look like? What would happen to manatees if there weren't dive shops like this and people like you to guard the interaction between people and manatees?
I think we'd very quickly see a decline in the environment itself because there wouldn't be people caring about the grass and the spring system that we have here. And I think manatee populations would decrease rather quickly.
You appreciate it, and everyone watching this will appreciate what that means for these animals. To see somebody who loves their job like you do, and just the passion and the enthusiasm, that's what I think everybody is looking for in a job. And so I'm so glad you found that. And not only that, but just the good that you're doing for the manatees and just the enriching experiences that you're providing people is just phenomenal. And this is stuff they'll never forget in their life.
Really, the only thing you need to have to be in this kind of workplace or field would just be a passion for the environment, a passion, you know, to save species and to work with animals one-on-one in a way that's still natural, because as you saw, we are still visitors to their habitats.
What message about manatees do you want people to take home after watching this?
Not everybody thinks that they're, you know, important to the environment or that they prove a crucial role in the environment, but they do. You know, they're really special animals. There's nothing like them out there. As you can see, they have their own family. They are the Sirenians, so there's only a couple other species left out there in the world. And right over here, these West Indian manatees, they mean quite a bit to us, and that's why we've gone through the efforts of restoring this bay specifically for them to give them good housing.
Well, I know I already fell in love with a few of them out there, and my wife's going to be jealous if she finds out, but thank you again for sharing your time with us, and I loved it, and you are just living the best life that you can working on the wild side.
Thank you. I can't imagine living any other way than the way I am right now.
Well, I'll leave you to it.
Thank you.
I can't help but feel invested in the survival of the seagrass and the manatees for future generations to experience. I will always remember the manatee mantra she taught us that makes pretty good life advice too. When in doubt, float it out.